You are now tuned into the Promised Key. I am your host, Lid Yahuda Tefari, aka Kushite Selassie, or Kushite Malcolm Selassie, or Malcolm Tefari. I go by a lot of them. Depends on how you want to call me. Depends on who you want to call me. Depends on who's talking or who's talking to me, and they call me whoever they want to call me. I don't mind. Either of those names are fine. But most people just call me Judah. What do I want to talk about? Identity. I'm not gonna give y'all the same identity speech of y'all have heard it all before. Everybody if you watching this, you have an idea about who you are. You know you're black. You know you're African. You know what your ancestors been through. I'm not about to make this conversation about that. This is for American Rastafarians. This is about our identity as Rastafarians in America. I feel we need to stop basing our identity off of the experience of Rastafarians in Jamaica. I'm not saying we shouldn't identify the struggle that they've been through, because the Curl Garden, Pinnacle, all those things need to be remembered. In fact, that should be a pilgrimage for us in America. We should all make a pilgrimage on those days. On the anniversary of those days, we should all in America try to at least go there. I'm going to try myself. Pandemic willing, with all this bullshit with this pandemic and shit. But next year, on every anniversary, I'm gonna try to go. I wasn't able to do it this year. I'm not gonna be able to do any more anniversaries this year. At this thing, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. So hopefully, next year I'll be able to do that, to take that pilgrimage, and I will take y'all with me. You too. Y'all be with me on that journey. But that's something we should do. But back to what I was saying about identity. There's a lot of things that we do that we take upon ourselves that are not really a Rastafari tenets, but more of a West Indian tenets, like something that come from West Indian culture. As example, the use of the word dog. At the cost of a dog is disrespectful. Whereas America, we use that term as a term of endearment. It's a term of loyalty. Why disrespect the dog like that? Why does the dog get the slack of being reference to that animal as a form of disrespect? That's one of the most loyal creatures you'll ever have around you, and they don't. And that's one of the most, like I said, it's the most loyal creature around. Why is to refer to your friend on loyalty? Why is that seen as a form of disrespect? But that's a West Indian thing. I have too much. I'm learning to have respect for life. So to use terms like that also affects the mental capacity. If we want to be vegans and vegetarians or whatever, and don't eat meat and don't eat animal products or whatever, or ITAL and don't want to live off the animal or whatever, then we got to get rid of the stigmatism of how we speak on the animals. But I'm getting too far about what I'm getting. But no, I'm not. I am still on topic. I'm trying not to spray too far off topic because I'm bad for that. Also, I'm gonna say there's some controversy stuff. I'm gonna say this because, like I said, this is the promised key. We have to open. We promise knowledge, so we have to have the key to open the door so we can learn more. So any Rastafarians who feel negative about this, please comment, or anybody who feels any form of negativity about what I'm saying, please comment and let me know how we can get in contact and we can talk, so I can get advice. So either you can teach me something different and put me to a different point of view in a respectful way now, and enlighten me to certain things of why things are and why we should still do why we should do that, and tell me why. But like I'm about to continue, the whole oral sex thing, I feel like that's more of a Bible and West Indian tenets about not having oral, not giving your woman oral sex. Cause the I'm pretty sure the stigma goes around the fact of if you eat pussy, you'll suck dick. I don't see how that's possible. I've never wanted to suck a dick, ever. I mean, ever. So I don't get that. Is it a health thing? Because if that's the case, if you're doing it with your queen, your one and only queen, I don't see the problem, because my queen is very clean. My queen is very clean. Then let me say it again. My queen is very clean. So I don't. So it can't. So that's not. So if it's a health thing, I don't have to worry about that. Explain that. Someone need to explain that to me, because that seems more like a West Indian term, or a West Indian. That's something that just comes out of West Indian culture, not something that is something that should be a tenet for all Rastafarians around the world. Or maybe that's a African tendency, or maybe that's maybe that's something we got from Africa. I'm not sure. I don't know. But anybody who want to enlighten me on that, please comment and let me know. Like I said, while I'm here, please comment and subscribe. Please subscribe, comment, and share. I'm trying to post as many videos as possible. For those who have subscribed and want to get the full video of the first video I put up, I'm still working on the editing. Both these editors I have on my computer, this is no good, and I can't use the keyboard, so I can't put it on the Wi-Fi so I can update my laptop. So it's gonna take a while to get stuff off the laptop and post on YouTube. And when I try to do it through my phone, it's a whole mess. I'm new to this stuff, so I don't really fuck with technology like that. So yeah, that's two things. Second, third. What else? Like, we need to map out some kind. We need to display some kind of lineage. How do we need to explain why we feel we can connect to Rastafari through our experience over here in America. We went through hell over here in America. Our ancestors went through hell over here. To cite Rastafari makes sense for us over here, after what we've been through. And I don't know if y'all forget, but Selassie came over here too. Have we forgot about Ethiopianism over here in America? I get tired of certain West Indians coming at me trying to check my credentials, like what Americans know about Rastafari. Ethiopian World Federation. Garvey started his whole movement here. Why wouldn't we accept this? Why wouldn't we take on this? Why wouldn't we accept His Majesty? And as much as we love Garvey, I love Garvey to death. But the whole prophecy that we give props to Garvey to was not originally his saying. I think it was a man named Nathaniel Hibbert or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, somebody. He was a pastor in the Ethiopianism. He was an American, and he preached that. That was his quote. His quote. He originally said that, and then Garvey put that in a play or a poem or something like that. If I'm wrong, please someone correct me. But it was an American who said, look to the east for the crowning of a black king. And before Garvey, Selassie already has sent an embassy, someone over here to have contact with us over here in America. I'm not trying to take Garvey out the equation of Rastafari. I'm trying to acknowledge our lineage over here in America, why we accept His Majesty, why we would look to the east, why we heard Leonard Howell's call, not Garvey's call, Leonard Howell's call to glorify the King. You see an American flag in my house? Nah. You get the emperor. You get the flag of the emperor. I got the flag of Black Power. I don't recognize no Western government. That's what it means. I am a Pan-Africanist at heart. That's what it means to be Rastafari. Pan-Africanism is first. So we as American Rastafarians us in America have to identify ourselves and acknowledge our roots and our path to how we connect to this. We can't just say we can't just keep going off of the reggae vibe. Because I think Proof I said it best. Reggae is not Rasta. You can sing Rastafari on any form of music. I mean, hell, look at Busta on that. Look at Busta on that Chant Down Babylon CD, on that Chant Down Babylon CD for that Bob Marley tribute, the Bob Marley tribute CD. A lot of y'all know. Those who were born in the 90s, y'all know who I'm talking about. Had all the best 90s rappers on there doing remixes with the Marleys on Bob Marley songs. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can do that on it. You can put Rastafari on anything. You can sing Rastafari on any music. The song's catchy enough, and as long as the music has enough beat, you don't have to use that rhythm. You don't have to use that reggae rhythm. You can put Rastafari on. You can preach Rastafari on anything, on any form of music, and it'll still be considered Rastafari music because it's preaching Rastafari. It's preaching His Majesty. So we can't just say we identify through that. I mean, reggae was nice, but I've listened to Bob my whole life since as long as I can remember. I can remember my mom playing Bob Marley in the background. That's everybody grew up with that, but that's not just the only reason to become Rastafari. A lot of us in America turn to Rastafari through learning the significance of our hair and the science behind our hair. That's how a lot of us over here connect to it. It's not really, the religious thing came second with me when I started with Rastafari. When I was 15 citing this up, but I was more connected through the spirituality form, the liberty of Rastafari, not more of the learned tenet, as Muta would put it. Because you look at Rastafari on any kind of platform, you Google it. Just Google it. I mean, it just says any generic is all basically the same generic thing. We believe Selassie is God. We don't eat meat. All that blase blase. It's just basically a widespread definition not Pan-African. Bible based faith. That's that's basically how they put it. But not all Rastafarians are like that. Like I said, I've I've been saying Mooch's name like twice now. I mean, more than twice. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm talking. So, oh crap! Did I lose train of thought? No. Oh no, I'm back. Like I said, we have to identify with something stronger than that, and why not the locks? A lot of us identify Rastafari through locks. And for those who in America, I speak for myself, when we become serious about it, we do a complete transformation with our locks. Like when I was 15 citing this up, I wasn't public about it. I didn't want anybody to know, because anybody who's born in the South, I'm from South Carolina. Anybody born in the South, you know this is strict Christianized Southern traditions around here. I mean, there is no going against grandma. Those who born in the South or come from the South, who have family in the South, who's raised around in the South, I don't care, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, it doesn't matter. You know, you don't go against grandma. Heck, probably in North Carolina, heck, probably upstate too. Even up there in the north, it's a black cultural thing. I don't know how it is outside, but in America, you don't go against grandma. You don't go against grandpa. And the teachings that they bring to the family, whatever they believe, you believe. So that means that's what your mama taught you, and that's what you're supposed to teach your kids, and so, because you don't go against grandma. Grandma take you to church. I didn't have that privilege of being raised with. My grandma died when I was 4. I didn't have that privilege, but grandpa kept that up. Grandpa would take me to church, take me to Sunday service, had me stand up there, you know, all that stuff. So a lot of us join Rastafari through that Baptist identity, because 12 tribes is a strict Baptist thing. So at 15, I didn't want to become public. I wasn't public about it because I didn't know how the people around me was going to treat that. And after hearing how Jamaicans treat Rastafari, I mean, bump all that commercialism and all that crap. After hearing about how they would used to beat rastas, and ain't just white people doing that. These ain't white people doing that. It's black people who look like me and you, chasing rastas down the street and beating them and cutting their locks off with broken bottles. These are people who look like me and you. So this was something serious. So when I cited this up, I didn't want anybody to know. I'm not sure. I wasn't saying this is the same thing was gonna happen, but I would just say I wasn't too ready to just come forward about it. Especially with my mom. I didn't really know how she'd take it. Jesus is her everything, so I don't really know how she'd take that. But at 18, when I said I was gonna become public about it and just said, fuck it, this is just how it is, I quit twisting my locks. Those who know me from my other channel, that MX Shogun channel, where while just putting up random videos and then doing little lock and doing real lock journeys and videos and stuff like that about my freeforming and stuff, and then like I said, just doing random videos. Y'all saw the transition of my locks. That's when I became real serious in the Rastafari at 15, and at 18 at 18 I became public about it and more serious about it. So I stopped twisting my locks. I started eating differently. I started eating differently at 15 too, but it wasn't like a strong trend. I didn't just stop slowly eating meat. It was like I'd quit eating beef. I'd quit eating. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm still kind of. I'll still eat a piece of fish. I'll still eat a piece of fish from now and then. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Crap. I eat a piece of fish here. I'll eat some fish. I will. But I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better. But yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to get back on track. But at 18, I stopped. Like I said, at 18, I stopped. I stopped twisting my life. I ate differently. I started eating different. I became public about it. I started wearing. I stopped just wearing Tams and shirts that just say Jamaica, so I can get away with, and so I can, or just wearing like Peter Tosh shirts, and so I can get away, or Bob Marley shirts, or like famous other reggae artist shirts, so I can like you know still feel like I'm representing Rastafari, but just under the guise of just Jamaica, so everybody just be like, he just like Jamaica. He just like the Jamaican style and all that shit. He's like that Jamaican swagger and all that crap. So that's why he's wearing that. That type of crap. Cause he got dreads, so he likes that Jamaican swagger. So that's why he wears that stuff. Yeah, that's basic. Anybody through school, they'll see me wearing Tams and wearing certain things. But certain people knew by the way I was talking and stuff. They knew I was on something different. They knew I was on something different. They didn't really understand it, and they didn't really care, but they knew I was on something different. But at 18, I became more public about it, and I started speaking my mind and didn't really care how anybody else felt about it. Selassie I was a Bible Rasta back then, so Selassie I was God. Selassie I was God. That was it. That was it. Nothing else. You couldn't tell me nothing else. And that's how a lot of us were. When we become public about it, hard about it, we're ready for any kind of confrontation because we don't care. And I saw a lot of us was like that growing up. When I became public about it and I became on there, I mean, we were a lot of the community of the young Rastas that were in America. They were peaceful. They were humble. They was trying to get off that. They were trying to give off that Bob Marley vibe. But for me, I was trying my best, but I was pissed. I was angry about a lot of stuff, so I was ready to attack a lot of things. A lot of us is like that. And so the people I vibed with more were like the God bodies or Muslim, or like people of the Nation of Islam, which a lot of them were surprised why I didn't become Muslim. But no, Selassie I was God, nothing else from nothing else. Nothing for nothing. So yeah, we need to, like back to what I was saying, just so I can get back on point. Because like I said, I'll get off point in a minute. I feel like I have got off point. So if I did, please forgive me. Just stick with me, people. Please stick with me. I'm about 23 minutes in, and I'm not sure how long. I'm not sure how long I can post videos on YouTube. But if so, I'm just gonna chop it up anyway. So throat dry. Actually, my mouth is dry, not my throat. Like I said, you are now tuned into the Promise Key. I'm just speaking my mind right now. But that's something we really need to do. We need to stop identifying all of our experiences through Jamaican or just reggae. There's a deeper meaning to Rastafari than that, and we in America have that over here, especially in the South. We know what farming is like. We know how to farm. We had elders. We got grandparents and parents who could teach us how to farm. We could teach us how to sew, to make our own clothing and be more self-sufficient and all that stuff. I mean, people over here got t-shirt businesses and stuff. We need to. We're craftsmen over here too. We're hustlers. Hey, if anybody, we're the original hustlers over here. And I'm not talking about no drug. I'm not talking about drug game. The drug game. I'm talking about we'll hustle out some stuff. Look at the dude who made Fubu. He built that business out his garage. That's hustle. That's real hustle mentality. Fuck that drug shit. That was just something that people needed to do to get up, so that the next generation didn't have to. But there's a reason why we call it the trap house, because you're trapped. No matter how you do things, you're gonna be trapped. No matter how you try to do it or try to get out, because you're gonna be trapped. You want the money, greed takes over. You making so much money so fast and so quick, you saying fuck it. That's our experience over here. I'm not saying that's not a worldwide experience. I'm not saying drugs ain't the only drugs being used on us isn't just something unique to us in America. I'm just saying the crack epidemic hit us harder. I'm not sure about the history of crack in Jamaica. I'm not sure about the history of crack in the West Indies and all that. But in America, the crack epidemic hit us hard in the 80s. So that's our experience. Getting out of the drug, trying to get our communities destroyed through drugs and through the use of Rastafari in the influence and how Rastafari influenced our communities. We owe a lot of that to Bob. I'm not saying we shouldn't hail up Bob when I say we shouldn't just identify through Bob Marley and reggae music, because that's how a lot of us got in America do that too. But we can't just solely saying that. That can't just be our only story. And I myself, me, Kushite Selassie, Lid Yahuda Teferi, Malcolm Tafari, I am going to do my best to push that knowledge of how we identify to Rastafari through our struggle in America. That story needs to be told. And I'm going to take up that challenge. You heard it first here on the Kushite Selassie YouTube channel on the Promise Key. This is the Promise Key, and I'm speaking my mind. In the words of Muta, I'm speaking. The monkey speaks his mind. Not that I'm calling myself a monkey. I just like quoting Muta in any way possible, because I love Muta to death. Oh crap! Big up Muta, man. No. See what I mean? We even speak patois. We speak patois like crazy when we get in Rastafari. The first thing we start doing is speaking patois. Nah, man, we need to stop that. What's wrong with our American slang? What's wrong with our American slang, man? Hey, we set the standard anyway of style. Everything in the words. Hey, let me quote Vibe Cartel for any West Indians, for any West Indians out there. Anything we do, them will follow. If they're not shit, they're not swallow. If we not shit, they're not swallow. No disrespect. No disrespect, but I'm just trying to be funny. No disrespect. Really, no disrespect. But yeah, man, we need to stop trying to identify through Jamaica. What's wrong with our slang? We'll start talking in patois and all this stuff. Man, let's stop that. What's wrong with our American slang? So let me say this in American slang. Yo, word up to Muta, man. Word up to Muta, man. For real, man. I love Muta to death, man. I love Muta to death. I love Muta to freaking death, man. The first Rasta elder I started listening to get me out of that Bible mentality that's stagnating us. And over here we're just following that same thing. We're not trying to elevate over here either. We just keep to that same tenets, because what's good enough for the elders over here and it's good enough for them. I mean, it's good enough for us. I mean, but we need to transition out of that. A lot of independent rosters. I'm gonna say independent rosters. I'm not in America. Those who aren't really who don't identify with Naya Bingi or Bobo Shanti or 12 Tribes or any of these Rastafari groups that are already established here in America, like Ethiopian World Federation, Lion Judah organizations like Lion of Judah Society, the church of Haile Selassie. What that place? I think that's what it's called. Haile Selassie's Church, or Church of Haile Selassie, Church of His Imperial Majesty. I don't remember the name, but it's in New York. It's the Ethiopian World Federation based church, I believe. I'm gonna have to look that up. Anybody who knows it, please comment and put it in the description. Anybody who do know what it's called. And if they do know, and if anybody who knows them, please let them see this video so they can comment, and so I'll know what their name is. So I'd like to talk to them too. And get from their perspective, because, like I said, the Ethiopian World Federation's been set up here since 1937. So if I'm correct, if not, please someone comment and correct me. I'm not a scholar. I'm just someone using Pan-Africanism to migrate through this Western world. That's all I'm doing. And through Pan-Africanism, I cited up Rastafari. See, there go that. See, cited. They got that West Indian term. Because of Pan-Africanism, I started rocking with Rastafari. Word up, man. We need, like, I'm gonna keep saying this. I'm gonna keep saying it until I just run out of things. Until I run out of steam. We need to identify ourselves. We need to push our struggle over here in America and identify and show the world how we identify with this. The ones in Africa are doing that. I never understand. I never knew there was so many Rastafarians across Africa. I mean, I'm not surprised. That's the main place we need to be. But I just want to be in these. And these aren't just Jamaicans who came over there. These are Africans whose bloodline been there. South Africa is the largest had the largest community of Rastafarians in the world. That's what's up. And that's outside of Jamaica. And they identify them, and they have their own experience, and they created their spirituality. And they